Apple is preparing to launch the iPhone 17 lineup, and leaks suggest a big change is coming, one that could affect users all around the world. This change has nothing to do with cameras or display size, but rather how your phone connects to mobile networks. Apple may finally expand eSIM-only iPhones outside of the US, meaning the physical SIM tray could disappear in more countries. Since the iPhone 14, all US models have been sold without a SIM card slot. They only support eSIM, which lets you activate service digitally without inserting a card. Outside the US, however, Apple has continued to offer iPhones with both eSIM and physical SIM support. That might be about to change. Reports from Europe reveal that Apple-authorized resellers are now being trained on eSIM technology. These training sessions must be completed by September 5th, just days before Apple's big event on September 9th, called Aw-dropping. That timing makes it almost certain that Apple will expand eSIM-only phones to more regions with the iPhone 17 series. This makes sense when you consider the rumored iPhone 17 Air, a new ultra-thin model. To make the phone slimmer, Apple needs to remove some components, and the SIM tray is one of the easiest to cut. But according to leaks, the entire iPhone 17 lineup, not just the Air model, could lose the SIM slot. Of course, not everyone is excited about this change. Surveys show that about 20% of users already use eSIM and have no issues with it. Around 40% say they're open to eSIM, but only if their carrier supports it properly. The other 40% still prefer a physical SIM card, especially frequent travelers who rely on swapping SIMs when visiting different countries. Travel is actually one of the biggest concerns here. With a physical SIM, you can buy a cheap local card in any country and start using it immediately. With eSIM, you need to find a carrier that supports it, and the setup can sometimes be complicated. While there are global eSIM services that let you set up service before traveling, they aren't always the most affordable or convenient option. Apple may not go fully eSIM-only in every country. In China, for example, iPhones often come with 2 physical SIM slots, and removing that option would be very unpopular. So it's likely that Apple will roll out eSIM-only phones first in Europe and other major markets, while keeping physical SIM models in places where they're still in high demand. Looking at the competition, Apple isn't alone in this shift. Google already sells eSIM-only Pixel phones in the US, but outside the US, Pixel models still include SIM trays. Samsung, on the other hand, continues to offer flexibility, supporting both eSIM and physical SIM in most markets. This shows that, while Apple is pushing ahead with the eSIM, other companies are still giving users more choices. For many people, switching to eSIM won't be a big deal. It's convenient to set up, you don't have to deal with tiny cards, and you can easily manage multiple numbers on one phone. But for others, especially frequent travelers, the lack of a SIM tray could be a real problem. So the question is the world ready for eSIM-only iPhones? Apple seems to think so, and if the iPhone 17 launches without a SIM tray in more countries, it will push the industry closer to a future without physical SIM cards. Whether people are ready for that future, however, is still up for debate. With the launch only days away, we'll soon know exactly what Apple has planned. The iPhone 17 lineup could mark the beginning of a major transition, one that changes how we connect to mobile networks forever.